we're going to talk about Netflix. So it says Netflix ad tier gets early launch, and I do believe that Disney is launching on December 8th. And what they're doing here is they're moving it up to November 1st because after 2 consecutive quarters in which they lost subscribers, they predicted a large growth in the next quarter.
But it wasn't a net loss of subscribers though, right? They gained more than they lost.
Well, they lost 970,000 subscribers in the one quarter, and 125,000 in the first quarter. I don't know if that attributes to net loss.
I think that was just a U.S. and Canada numbers.
The 970 was. Mm-hmm. So it says they've moved up the release date because Disney is launching their ad tier related service on December 8th, and Netflix was originally going to do this first of the year on January 1st. So it says, according to Variety, Netflix has moved up the timeline to get its ad-supported tier out in the public before Disney Plus, which is set to set their ad tier at December 8th. Netflix ad-supported tier, initially targeted for early of 2023 launch date, will now be rolled out in multiple countries, including U.S., Canada, UK, France, Germany. Remember when we were talking about before, every time Netflix wants to guinea pig, they dump it on Chile and a bunch of countries that you're why are they? Why
did they do that yet with the password thing?
That's exactly what they were doing.
They actually did do it, and I wonder if they lost a lot of people in those places. And now they're like, okay.
And from what I understand, $7 to $9 a month is what you're going to pay for ad tier.
Yeah, they haven't announced it exactly yet.
I have this article. I found this at the very last minute. It says $7 to $9 price range for its new ad tier supported content. Do you guys have any interest in? If you're everyone knows my take. I'm on a one-man jihad against ads. I think ads are the worst thing to happen to media.
They cheapen the experience.
Yes.
I'm of two minds with this particular story. I think for one, they cheapen the experience. I don't use Netflix anymore either. If I do, I steal my mother-in-law's.
Borrow.
I steal it from my mother-in-law so I can watch a Dave Chappelle special.
I like the idea that you actually you don't tell her.
I break into her house and I find the password in her Rolodex, and then I get into Netflix that way. But what I enjoyed about that platform was that it kind of felt like a portal into whatever you were watching without any distortion outside.
Netflix?
Yeah, how I'd watch it. At least I couldn't not watch Netflix, and do anything else.
I'm the opposite. I don't sit still very well. When we review stuff, it goes against every fiber of my being to sit there. And when it's something I really like, I can do that. But then Hollywood hasn't made a show that I love so much that I can. The Wire was the last show that I rediscovered. I had seen it years earlier, but rediscovered it and sat and watched it through the whole way. Reacher and the Terminalist. Even the Terminalist, I still got up and fidgeted and did work and did other stuff.
That's just you, though.
That's just me. That's just me.
Lately, as I've been using Netflix, I feel like I'm being advertised to, even though there are no ads.
How so?
Yeah.
Because they push their originals so hard, and the fact that you have to scroll through with things auto playing at you is so sensory overload for me that I don't even want to use it over other platforms.
The worst is when it runs the commercial version of it, you hover over it.
It tries to get you in with some kind of mini trailer,
super loud.
I guess that works on NPCs or something, but not me.
I actually thought you were going to take that in another direction, because I remember watching Stranger Things when that first came out, and to me, the show itself felt like a commercial of nostalgia, and not so much that the platform was promoting itself, which I also see that, but it was it was inserting different ideas
product
and stuff that
placements?
all that stuff, whether it's nostalgia or product placements, it felt more commercial. Even in the new one, I haven't even seen it, but when they do the Metallica thing, that just becomes a meme and a commercial outside of itself.
I think that Stranger Things did a really good job of appealing to multiple generations because of the nostalgia factor, but then also showing teenagers, for them to relate to audience close to that age range, or even kids watching shows about older kids than them, and it's more aspirational.
Yeah,
they were exceptional in that way, and then also that that Stranger Things isn't derivative of anything but itself now.
Yeah,
that's kind of a pitfall it has too.
When I watched season 1, it seemed like derivative of everything. Maybe not anymore, but in the first season, it was Stephen King and Spielberg. Just remixed, which was fun. And they did a really good job. I really enjoyed it.
There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, I would argue that in an age now where I'm forced to watch every show get made differently than it actually was meant to be in its literary form. I'd rather they just, like when we were talking Rings of Power, I'm like, just make the same exact show, change Middle Earth to like Midland and everything else, and give it a different name, and you'll earn. I mean, everyone will know it's a ripoff, but you're arguably still going to have better.
We'll get into that
reception.
later on.
Yeah.
I want so it says right here that they were expecting a soft 65 cost per 1,000 views. That's what they were looking to get from ad buyers.
And I wasn't aware that the industry norm would be $20 CPM.
Sub 20, so less.
Sub
so even
20.
less than 20. But when you think about when they're talking about what was Stranger Things, like several billion minutes viewed, how does that distill down to ad? They never show you plays; they show you minutes viewed. Now that's the big marketing push. It's like when Chris Pratt was talking about the terminal, he's like, we had 1.4 billion minutes viewed. I'm like, I don't know what that means. What does that mean, and how many people clicked on it? And the problem with this is without the things like Nielsen or even box office numbers, which are subject to like, I guess, would it be government oversight because you can't false report on stuff like that?
I don't know.
Like it would
Well,
be,
why do streamers get to false report
Because
or
it's-
selectively report?
Well, that's what my question was. I was like, if it's a private company, that makes sense. But if you're a publicly traded company,
Yeah.
that information shouldn't be private. It should be, at least, at the very least, it should be open to your investors, if not the public at large. So it says he's guessing that they won't get that. And then they really get into the fact that they are going to put a lot of like restrictions on what type of stuff, what kind of ads you can have at Netflix, which I find really, really fascinating. First of all, no crypto ads, which is good because all those.
Why is that good?
Because I'm sick to death of getting fake crypto ads on my Instagram from people who have no fault. Me and Andy joke about this all the time. It's like, he's a crypto
Like
kingpin.
scammers?
Yeah, like spam. It's
Sure,
like-
I understand filtering for scam ads and gambling ads especially, but
I mean, crypto
The
gambling.
kids should
Is it
know
really
about
a-
Doge.
like I don't know how I feel about that because I think in the future they're going to have to rely on cryptocurrency for subscriptions.
Oh, that's good.
Well, they will likely.
People are going to have to start paying. I mean, now that just the option is open, like to use Litecoin at Walmart, like that's
Oh,
a
boy.
big step. And now, in the future, if people want to use crypto to pay for these streaming services and different tiers of them, it doesn't make much sense that they wouldn't be able to advertise.
To
on
me,
them.
it sounds like Netflix is trying to politicize crypto without politicizing crypto
Yeah.
because they're saying they're not
Facebook
also
did
not
the
going to
same
do.
thing.
Yeah, and I
presidential
don't
ads
understand
and
that
stuff like
either
that.
because if Facebook's future is Meta, and
which is all.
that
which will be
is
crypto.
completely
Crypto-
synonymous with if
Well,
like
it might be in competition.
They
there,
could be
and
waiting-
They're going to release their own.
their
that was
own
the thing.
Non-crypto
marketplace.
crypto.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
That they were going to do that for a while.
Yeah,
Meta,
they probably still will.
Meta dumped a bunch of money into research for doing their own cryptocurrency, and then
Yeah.
a bunch of
That's
stuff
what's
came
gonna
out about
happen.
the government wanting to regulate it, and they're like, maybe that's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for like GovCoin to come out, and it'll be
Ugh,
it'll be
that will happen.
I know,
That
I know,
will
it's going to be
happen.
awful. So they point out that due to regulatory scrutiny, crypto bans are nothing new for digital asset industry. In 2018, social media giant Meta banned crypto ads across the platform before reinstating them the next year. So that's what's funny about that is that does that prove the power of like the growing crypto lobby? Because I do see stuff like that all the time. The American blockchain, like there's the Blockchain of America PAC and stuff like that. Different groups that are lobbying for cryptocurrency in the open market. I do have to ask, do I have any crypto investors in my presence today?
I went straight to the moon with Doge. When I made more money off Doge than I did as a professor.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
But I made more whenever that whole thing happened with Doge, I made a decent amount, and I feel like crypto can be a beautiful thing because it gave people the opportunity to have a currency outside of the government regulation.
We should ask if we can get paid in GameStop.
I think
GameStop
that was
stocks.
always a ticking time bomb, though.
Yeah,
And what we're finding is like the powers that be will not tolerate
you.
of course.
that
Yeah,
for
the second
long.
they said they
and
wanted
it
to
was
regulate
basically if you had the lucky timing of investing in a certain coin, then good for you. But I don't think that's a long term solution.
It maybe not.
Buy
It
and
depends.
hold.
It depends what your definition of long term is. Because right now, I don't know how it is right now. I actually got rid of all mine, but I bought Doge when it was like. Even saying Doge sounds disgusting. So my apologies.
It is
out there. It
disgusting.
sounds disgusting, but it is
Why?
what it is. It just the word I just don't like it. I might be saying it wrong too. I don't know, but
Doge. Doja.
Again, I don't like it. I like her,
It was always Doge.
but
Doja. I'm thinking more
I got
to, like,
it.
90s rap.
And it was
lyrics,
like
but okay.
6 cents or something, and then you saw it go to 50 or 60 cents. So it was like an experience, and it was fun. But I think I don't know what. Them banning it just makes it look better. I think it's like the Streisand effect.
Then what are your takes on the banning of political ads?
That to me, I like. But again, I
Why
think
do you like
Netflix is
that?
a political organ.
That's true.
Because Netflix is already political. They hire people like
Just
the
by
Obamas.
the stuff they choose to make makes them inherently political, anyways. But
honestly, as you're questioning me, I feel like I might be taking back my stance on banning anything, unless it's hurting children.
They're going
unless it's hurting
to
children.
discriminate politically if they do sell political ad space. So
If it's inconsistent, then I have a problem.
it's
If
going
they
to be if they allow it at all.
If they open it up to everybody, then that's whoever. I can't even think of someone right now.
well, then with in the same vein of your viewing numbers in your stats, you'll never know for sure that they're opening it up fairly to everyone.
Well,
You'll never be able to prove.
Right.
Will they target you? Like depending
How
on where
would you
are.
prove that they even played it? Like, say you're Donald DeSantis, a politician that doesn't exist. Donald DeSantis, and you want to buy ad space on Netflix, and they say we played your ad this many times. How do you prove that? How do you know that's actually what happened?
Yeah.
I mean, the
That's
FCC,
what they rely on, is keeping things under the table and
It's like shadow
shifting
banning.
things around
Which is the
before
whole
the
problem.
right eyes can get on it.
As far as I understand, this is basically the same problem as Elon with Twitter, where
Yeah.
they didn't disclose the bot stuff.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah, that's
selling
what I was thinking of.
advertisements saying we have this many hits or whatever. Meanwhile, it could have been that 30, 40% of those, maybe more, were bot hits. So it's all fake because the internet's dead.
Another thing I found interesting, I looked at the Variety article that covered all the same information, but they mentioned that Netflix poached the parent company of Snapchat's two top ad executives, Jeremy Gorman and their vice president of sales, Peter Naylor. And I thought of like the wheelhouse they're in is still social media, and like Bitmoji is a whole like a section of their company to begin with.
Yeah.
And that's like where we were headed toward avatars and the metaverse.
Yep.
Like
these all
years ago, being prepped for this by the same executives who are just shifting between companies doing the exact same thing.
Now we're
working
talking.
toward the same goals.
Now we're talking. These are incremental.
Do I sound crazy?
Yes.
No.
No.
I
These
remember-
are incremental steps across the platforms to get us all
prepping
into the
you
metaverse.
for it.
Because
Yeah.
I was just thinking about this yesterday. It's like people who still are like hypochondriacs. Like the hypochondriac class will be the ones that inherit the metaverse.
They're up
It's
there.
there for
Really?
them.
They're up there with the consultant class, the hypochondriac class.
Yes, but because they're the ones who don't want to go outside, they want to experience a real world, and they're going to see the metaverse as this beautiful utopia where there's no sickness and there's fake money and avatars and all that stuff.
It reminds me of Jessica on Slack one day, or maybe it might have been like a regular message. She was talking about how, like whenever you hear like a social media message, or whenever you watch like a reel on Instagram or anything like that, and you hear the robot voice, it's like, how try not to laugh. It's like she's like,
And it's trying to make that something
trying,
laughable.
She believes that if I remember correctly, she was saying like they're trying to prep you for like hearing robot voices instead of human voices. That's crazy, dude.
And look, whether or not it's intentional, it doesn't matter because it is just prepping you for
And
the
all-
inevitable future of the robots.
And all this while you're just trying to watch Stranger Things season 32, and they've all got beards and I say open it up wide. I don't even want. I say take the black pill and go Wild West on political ads. I don't want them to have to acknowledge like who they work for. Just be able to make stuff up and lie.
Are they going to sell ad space to the Taliban?
laissez-faire ad space for everyone?
Yeah, I was like my instant like confirmation bias felt good when I read the article, and they're thinking about not selling it, not doing ads with pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's cool, but again, it's like maybe just who cares? Just open up to everything, unless it's like targeting children. I really don't want to do that, hurting children anyway.
No ads on Coco Melon. Leave the ads off. Coco
I
Melon.
don't think Netflix has a reputation of championing children's safety
I'd have to say you're right.
or innocence. So, and we're gonna get into that. Too.
I also want to point out that they said that they're expecting to get 500,000 new subscribers for their ad tier service by the end of the year. So they want to get 500,000 in the first 2 months.
So if you're already a subscriber, are you just going to be bumped up up to premium, or are you going to be bumped down to the ad tier?
Just the other day, I was looking. I was watching something on Hulu. It says price increase coming in a month or something like
so
that.
it warns you, and you're going to stay premium, so
Yeah.
they get more.
Has it
Oh
tell
yeah,
you?
they're never going to default you to the cheaper option. That's not a thing.
Wait, when you're
that is
dumbass.
not a thing.
When you're watching Hulu, does it like pause the show and like, just so you know, we will increase the pay rate?
It was when I opened the app.
Oh, okay.
On my
man.
thing. Yeah, like
What a bummer.
I hate ads.
I
At
hate that
least
too.
Netflix, unlike Disney Plus, clarified that for movies, you're only going to get an ad roll before the movie and not anywhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I hate when it interrupts
Yes.
a movie because they pick like a certain part of it that's like they think is clever.
Right.
Well, one of my favorite
False
things to watch
cliffhanger.
is when you watch TV like from old shows that are designed for the network formula, which are 42 to 45 minutes with like 4 to 6 ad breaks in beneath.
Mm-hmm.
The scene ends in this really like clearly a place where it was about to be like a Swiffer jet ad like right after it.
Yeah.
And like you're just like, and then it picks back up. And what you notice from a lot of old TV shows is a lot of ads, like a lot of scenes used to end by fading out or fading to black, and that's far less common as storytelling has evolved.
Yep.
In television. So it's like now I would argue that they've never really learned how to make good television without ads. Like most of these places don't. I watched
HBO.
the new episode of The Patient last night, and it was fine, but I feel like the pacing, I mean, granted that show is supposed to be operating at a slower pace anyways. I don't think there's a lot of shows that have figured out how to tell good storytelling without the need for, like, they almost use the ad breaks as like a crutch for like where to end their act.
You know who did? Well, I'm not gonna say that I enjoyed it, but it was almost like sometimes they were needed commercial breaks. Was during 24.
Well, that's because
It
it's
was
like not
high
like you'll
intense.
have like you'll have to like check your pulse to make sure you're not
Like I'm still alive. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
I'll buy this pharmaceutical now.
Exactly. Yeah, it's an ad for like a sleep aid. Like
Yeah,
you're
blood
like,
pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring your blood pressure down
Yeah.
with this, and they're
Have
like,
you
"Oh, I
recently
need
been
that."
waterboarded? Yeah.
Now I need to go back and watch.
Oh, it's
I need to
so
go-
good.
It's great. It's I've been watching a show called Shetland, which is it's like Scottish, I believe, or Irish.
Sounds like it.
You can barely understand what they're saying, and I love
I
it.
thought it was gonna be Chetland.
No,
It's just a bunch of Chets. Sorry.
that's
Sorry, one dad joke
Old
for the day.
joke.
Oh shoot. Dang.
Yeah, somebody beat you to. I mentioned it yesterday, but I highly recommend. I want to tell everyone again to go and watch this show because it's so beautifully shot.
Where is it?
It's shot in.
I'm sorry. What platform?
It is on BritBox.
What? What is that?
I love British TV.
Okay.
It's so much less annoying than
Yeah.
American television. I've
Yeah.
been watching that, and you'd really like Whitechapel. That was the other
Yeah.
one I mentioned yesterday. Given that you enjoy horror,
I do.
and yeah, it's not a horror show, but it's a darker in tone. The
Okay.
first season is about catching a Jack the Ripper copycat.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Oh, I want to ask you real quick. Do you like American Horror Story
Never
or any
watched
of these
it.
seasons?
Never watched any of it.
I think that's one that's. It looks to me like it's gone majorly downhill over the years.
I've heard people
In
say
terms
that
of
it looks
TV
like it could be
horror.
pretty cool, but I don't know anything about it. But in terms of British TV, what was that Ricky Gervais show he did?
He did The Office.
No. Like the one where he's like a caretaker.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, that's a great show on British TV.
I've found that I love most of it. It's not even
It's
police.
called Derek.
It's not. I realize it's not police shows that as much as I love those in America. In the UK, it tends to be like just mysteries and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I haven't watched much of that. I mean, people keep telling me I should watch Doctor Who. I haven't done
The
that.
new or old one?
My mother-in-law loves all of it, but she loves like the old stuff. She said I'd like it, and one day, but it seems like a lot to take on. There's like
yeah,
a
the longer
infinite
a show goes
seasons.
on, the harder it is to commit to like 15 seasons of something.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.